Whether it was full-color maps, cheat codes, specific help, or comics, Nintendo Power had you covered. I thought it would be fun to take a look back at some of the review scores of our favorite and not-so-favorite games. Here it is, the first issue of Nintendo Power in the 90s, and our cover boy is none other than Jack Nicholson from Batman, arguably the biggest hit in theaters the year prior. NP devoted 6 pages with excellent maps to help us through the dark streets of Gotham. This is still one of my personal favorites on the system to this day.
Never rub another man's rhubarb.
In Player's Pulse, fans talk about the appearance of Mario, stating that he may have had a nose job done somewhere between Donkey Kong and Super Mario 2. Others write in on how to become a game counselor for Nintendo, which is something that I would have liked to have done as a kid. And an interesting letter from Jeff Gilkey. He says he can beat any NES game in 5 days and that his friends call him Nintendo Man. Kind of full of yourself there, Mr. Gilkey. I'd like to see you beat Battletoads in 5 days. This month we get a who's who of the NES library in our features section. Shadowgate gets some really nice coverage, and look at this artwork. It's a shame we don't get stuff like this anymore, eh? Or magazines, period. Willow gets more Mad Map love here, and no, I've still not played it yet, but I'm going to, soon, maybe. If I have time. I know, someday I'll get around to it. Now one of my all-time favorites, Double Dragon 2: The Revenge. For some reason, Nintendo Power forgot to give this game a score, and it's kind of puzzling.
Inconceivable!
I checked the previous issue and the one after it, but no score, sadly. That's okay, I'll give it a 17.5. This is between you and me. Shh. Here's an odd platformer, Clash at Demon Head, a very wonky and weird game, but lots of fun. River City Ransom coverage continues, with 6 pages devoted to brawling your way into River City High. Lots of fun, I love this game. We get a special feature on how Super Mario Bros. 3 was made, and hey, there he is, the Grand Poobah of video games himself, Shigeru Miyamoto. It was always fun to pull back the curtain and see the people behind the games, definitely not the norm in this era. Counselor's Corner, gamers ask where the whale is located in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Fazanadu, the Ring of the Dwarf, is discussed, as well as how to beat Stage 6 in the super tough game Air Fortress.
I don't know!
Plenty of awesome tips and tricks and classified information too, like the fairly useless but fun trick of switching the stars to birds in Mega Man 2, a continue code for both Robocop and Kung Fu Heroes, as well as how to do a power punch in Bad Dudes. Howard and Nestor time. Nestor is trying to find the Stone of Sunlight in Tantagel Castle. Of course, instead of actually listening to his friend Howard, he just makes an ass out of himself. Stupid Nestor. And finally, in our top 30, we see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in first place. The Heroes in a Half Shell bumped former champ Mega Man 2 all the way down to 6th. Zelda 2 and Mario 2 trade spots again, and Blaster Master finally cracks the top 10. What are some of your favorites on this list? Let me know down in the comment section below.
And your t-shirts are too tight too, Billy!
And now, what you've all been waiting for, let's check out the preview section and the review scores this month. Here it is, Super Mario Bros. 3, the granddaddy of all NES games. And wouldn't you know who won the pony? Nintendo Power gives their mascot's newest game a near-perfect score. Rightly so, too. At an amazing 18 out of 20, this is the highest score given out by the mag so far. Wow! Super Spike VBall is a very underrated arcade sports game, one of my favorites. Nabbing a 15 isn't bad, but I would have given it a minimum of 16. Burai Fighter is also another underrated game. It's an auto-scroller shooter with horizontal and vertical levels. Very fun. At a 13, way too low. Let's try a 15. One of Mike Tendo's favorites, Astyanax, gets a solid 15.5 here. Not bad, but a 16 is better in my opinion. This is a really underrated game that not a lot of gamers talk about anymore. Dino Wars is a pretty forgettable action platformer, but the cutscenes are really cool actually. This card gets a 13. That sounds about right. Haven't played Infiltrator, but I don't hear a lot of gamers my age talking about it. That might say something about this game. A 14? Nah, sounds good. The Chess Master is chess. It's okay. A 15 is a bit too generous though. Let's try a 13? Oh, it's chess. Short Order Explode is a power pad game. No thank you. 12.5? Yeah, that's okay. Archon is actually a lot of fun. You get a lot of different pieces to move around the game board, and you get magic spells too, which are really broken. A 14.5 works for me. All Pro Basketball is a basketball game, and I'd rather play Double Dribble. Road Blasters is a game Retro Matt and I would borrow quite a bit from our Uncle Mac. It's a cool action driving game, but at a 12.5 it seems too low, maybe a 13.5, 14? Genghis Khan, like the other Koei strategy games, is a hardcore strategy game, and I don't like those, so 13 is good. Cybernoid is one of those awful games published by Acclaim, and at a 12, that's very generous in my opinion. I give it a 10. I do not like Cybernoid. Dig Dug 2. Oh, poor Dig Dug. This is vastly different from the arcade game that we all know and love, and I used to play Dig Dug 2 as a kid. It wasn't a lot of fun then, it's still not a lot of fun now. I actually like Championship Bowling a lot, and it's 4 players to boot. Not that you'll find 3 other players to join you, but the music is very catchy, and the gameplay is actually a lot of fun. 11.5 is a bit too low. Finally, Twin Cobra is a solid shooter that doesn't get enough love in my opinion. Is it Gradius or Life Force? No, but it's still pretty good. A 13.5 is a-okay with me. Okay guys, there you have it. Super Mario Bros. 3 claims top spot with an incredible score of 18, holy smokes. While Championship Bowling and Dig Dug 2 get left on the bottom of the NES pile this month. Yeesh. Stay tuned because next time we enter issue number 11 of Nintendo Power. We have even more stellar hits coming out like Super C, 8 Eyes, and Destination Earthstar? Nah, just kidding. It's Final Fantasy.